there's a moment, the very second you stepped into the school hall, that still lingers in memory today. The clatter of metal trays, the gentle hum of chatter, and that warm cloud drifting from the kitchen hatch created an atmosphere no child ever forgot. It was a smell uniquely its own, comforting to some, bewildering to others, a mix of anticipation and routine. You never quite knew whether today's dish would be one you quietly loved or one that sparked lively debates across the table. Yet that first breath set the tone for the whole meal, guiding you into the world of school dinners to come. To understand why school dinners felt so distinctive, you have to picture Britain in the years after the war, when simplicity and routine shaped almost every corner of daily life. School meals were designed to be hearty and reassuring, built from straightforward ingredients that reflected the era's practical mindset. Long rows of tables filled the hall, each one set with shared jugs of water, stacks of trays, and the quiet expectation that everyone would sit together, talk together, and finish what they were served. There was something comforting about the predictability of it all. A weekly menu was pinned up, and most children knew exactly which day brought their favorites, and which day required a little more courage. As the decades rolled forward, the atmosphere slowly shifted. The structured feel of the 60s, when everything was portioned with precision, began to soften in the 70s. And by the 80s, the mood felt more relaxed, with schools experimenting with new ideas and gentler approaches to dining. Yet, through every change, the core experience remained the same. A shared moment in the middle of the day that united children from every background, and it's from this evolving world that the unforgettable dishes themselves began to take shape. Some dishes from school days were so familiar that they felt woven into the rhythm of the week. You can almost picture the warm plates arriving, the gentle steam rising, and the quiet comfort that came with the first bite. These were the meals that seemed to appear in every school across Britain. Simple, savory favorites served on cold winter days, offering a sense of stability when the playground felt brisk and breezy. There was something grounding about those hearty portions, the kind that filled the hall with a cozy warmth and made chatter soften for a moment. And then came the baked favorites, their golden tops gently cracking under a spoon, sending out a wave of sweetness that signaled the best part of lunchtime. These dishes weren't fancy, but they carried a charm that stayed with children long after they left the hall. Remembering them now brings back a rush of simplicity and shared experience for all who remember. Some meals from school days created instant reactions the moment they were served. You could hear the whispers travel down the table as lids were lifted, each child deciding whether today would bring quiet delight or polite hesitation. These dishes weren't truly disliked. They simply had textures or flavors that felt different, making them unforgettable talking points. One friend might beam with excitement, while another nudged their tray slightly away, already planning a trade with the person beside them. The fun, of course, came from the discussions that followed the bold claims, the exaggerated stories, and the friendly teasing that filled the hall with laughter. Every school seemed to have its own legendary item that split opinion right down the middle. It wasn't the food itself that made these moments memorable, but the way they shaped the small dramas of lunchtime. Looking back, those spirited debates reveal how even the simplest routine could become a shared piece of childhood folklore, passed along with warmth and humor for everyone involved. Ask anyone about their school days, and the conversation often drifts to the puddings that ended the meal on a high note. There was something almost magical about seeing a tray arrive from the kitchen, its warm aroma floating through the hall before a single slice was served. Soft sponge, gentle sweetness, and a comforting swirl of warm custard created a moment children waited for all week. Fruity bakes, simple tray treats, and gently flavored classics brought a brightness to even the dullest afternoons. These desserts weren't elaborate, yet they carried a sense of celebration that felt special within the everyday routine of school life. The anticipation was half the joy watching the slices being cut, hoping your piece would come from the corner or center, depending on your preference. And when the first spoonful touched the plate, conversations paused for just a heartbeat. Those small rituals stayed with us, turning ordinary puddings into some of the most nostalgic memories we still cherish today in our minds forevermore now. What lingers most about school dinners isn't really the meals themselves, but the moments wrapped around them. It was the comfort of stepping in from the cold and feeling the warmth of a hot tray settle into your hands, the familiar chatter of friends finding their seats, and the tiny sense of independence that came from choosing where to sit or which part of the plate to finish first. These routines shaped the rhythm of childhood in ways we only understand now. Back then, we judged each dish on its taste alone, deciding whether it won our quiet approval or sparked a lively conversation. Yet looking back, the true value lay in the togetherness, the laughter shared across long tables, the unspoken traditions, the predictability that made school days feel steady and secure. Those small rituals turned ordinary meals into lasting memories, gently reminding us of a time when life felt both simpler and more connected. Today's school menus are far more varied, offering choices and flavors that would have felt almost extraordinary to a child in the 60s, 70s, or 80s. Expectations have changed, and with them the style of the school meal itself. Yet something about those simpler days remains unmatched. The shared routines, the familiar trays, and the memories carried quietly into adulthood. Modern options bring convenience, but the nostalgia of the past still holds its own warmth. So what about you? Which school dinner do you remember most, and why has it stayed with you before you go? If these memories made you smile today, then hit the white subscribe button and stay with us. We are rebuilding a little corner on YouTube where the old Britain still lives, and you re-welcome here anytime. For more of these unbelievable memories, tap the video on your screen. The 1970s stories are something else. Don't forget to subscribe.